Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 50 of Magicians Without Borders Conversations. We are so glad that you are joining us now live or listening to us later on the podcast. This is going to be a great episode. This is a breath of fresh air for our Brazilian chapter, and we have a great guest with us today with whom we're going to talk about exactly that. But before we do, as always, I want to tell you a little bit more about how you can support us in different ways. And this is one that's great. We've got some new students in our learning platform. So if you want to learn magic from us, you can go to learn.magicianswithoutborders.com and you can learn magic at your own pace. It's a self-paced video magic course taught by our founders, Tom and Janet. And you know, they get all this knowledge of doing magic for over 50 years. Tom has been doing magic for over 50 years. He owned a magic shop. And with Magicians Without Borders, him and his wife, Janet, have traveled in over 40 countries, doing magic for over a million refugees, according to the UN. So you can get all of that in this platform. And also because we know that some parts of the world, especially in the US, have been, beginning to shut down again. We've created this course for public libraries. So if you live nearby a public library and would like this at your local public library, you can check that out as well or send us a message. And this is the platform that we give our libraries.
Hi, and welcome to the demo of Magicians Without Borders course, Become a Magician, especially for libraries. So what would you get? You will get your personalized link. That means a URL with your library's name on it. Also, you will have your library's name right here and your library's name in multiple places on the website. And what your patrons will get is a link that will get them inside our online self-paced video magic course called Become a Magician. This is what you get. You get an introduction to magic video, a 30-minute magic show video, and 13 magic learning sessions, plus a wrap-up video. And I'm going to show you how it looks on the inside. Once you are inside one of the sessions, it will look something like this. All the sessions will be on the left, and the session that you select will be on the right. On each of the sessions, you will have a little introduction and a full performance video and a full explanation video for each of the magic learning sessions. The video course is self-paced, meaning that your patrons can scroll and choose the session that they like. They don't necessarily have to do them one by one in order. They just can jump between them, and it's designed so that they can do so. And remember, in each session you will have an introduction, a performance video, and an explanation video. And this is the way that it looks. So in summary, you will receive a URL with your library's name on it. That means that your URL is a unique website that only your patrons or the people that you want to send that link to will have access to it. And it's a very simple website that they can navigate, and they just have to click on the link and they'll be inside of the course right away. So this is the demo for Become a Magicians for Libraries from Magicians Without Borders.
Great. So that's a great way that you can support us and that you can have activities in your local public library. And well, as always, I am here with Tom Verner. Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm great, and I just wanted to mention that a library that was going to buy the Become a Magician course for their patrons. We had originally talked, because he's close to, not far from where I live. It's a couple-hour drive, but I have a very good friend who lives there, and I'd like to visit them as well. I was going to go down, do a magic show, and introduce the course, and then to the children or adults or whoever were at the magic show, I was going to teach the first and maybe the second trick from the course and
Nice.
get them going and introduce it. So that person, that librarian, has called me back, and I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks.
So
And
cool.
that would be a wonderful way to introduce the course to a library. Go do a live show and then introduce the course, and then they would buy the course and get it to their patrons. So that's going to happen. It couldn't happen last year because of the pandemic, but who knows with this new Delta variant and everything? I don't know. Everything's uncertain again. But here we are on number 50. It feels like a big one. Two more and it will be a whole year. Amazing.
And as you said, this seems like a big one, and it is, because we want to talk about the future of our education chapter in this wonderful country of Brazil. So I wanted to ask you, Tom, about your feelings about this new chapter and this adventure that we're going on. I'm trying to open this new chapter, and what are your expectations of it?
Well, I'm not exactly sure why, but Brazil has always been a place that I've wanted to visit. I have to say, even before Colombia, I wanted to come to Brazil. But now that I've been to Colombia, I've been to the best. So, but I still want to go to Brazil, and would love to perform there. And hopefully, when the pandemic, begins to go away, we can get the chapter started. I know Alejandro has tried, and it's been very difficult. We can talk about that, but I would love to go there, and maybe you and I can go there as soon as that is possible and help get that started. Maybe even take a service trip there with some other magicians. We'll see. But we have an amazing person in Alejandro, an extraordinary magician. From my little interaction with him, he seems like a most wonderful person, and I bet he's a great teacher. He's a FLASOMA winner and FISM winner, and we're very, very blessed and lucky to have him joining us. So here we are.
We're very eager to hear about Alejandro and everything that he's putting on and already started doing in Brazil. So for me, it's very, very important that we get to know Alejandro and get to know him as a person a little bit, and his story in magic, because he's a wonderful performer, and he's also a very high. A very, how should I put it in English? A very, very, very nice performer. I mean, he's one of the top performers.
Yeah.
And I think that's also very, very important that we in our teachers we have somebody of that, of that stature, and of that of that track record. And I think it's very
Yeah.
cool. And he's also, been, involved in teaching magic. He started, in magic organizations in Brazil, and he's very involved in all this, helping other fellow magicians. And I think that is wonderful. That is wonderful. And of course, he's a great human being. So without further ado, I want all of us to welcome Alejandro here. Hey, Alejandro, ¿cómo estás?
Hello, hello. Whoa. Oh, guys, you talk too much, guys. Now, easy,
All right.
easy. Thank you very much for your words. It's not absolutely not true, but okay. I'm so thankful for everything, for this opportunity, for this conversation, and for everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Sí, thank you for being here. Gracias por estar aquí. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and have this conversation, as freely as we can.
Yeah.
Vamos a conversar a veces en español, a veces en inglés, y ahí vamos yendo para adelante. So I want you, Alejandro, to tell everyone, a little bit about yourself and how you got into magic. Entonces, para empezar, Alejandro, cuéntanos un poquito de ti, de tú, qué haces ahora, a qué te dedicas y cómo empezaste en este mundo de la magia.
So, I used to say I'm un comunicador. Soy un comunicador, multiplataformas. So I'm a magician. The first thing that I always that I did in my life was magic. So first of all, I'm sorry, I don't speak English so very well, so I apologize for it. But I'm gonna try. I'll do my best. The first thing that I done in my life was magic, and then I was to theater. I went to theater and did music and radio and TV, like a presenter, commercial advertising in these channels, and so corporate gigs in different ways. And so I always do different things. Siempre he hecho muchas cosas diferentes, medio que al mismo tiempo, pero la magia siempre estuvo ahí. Magic always. Tú lo traduces. La magia siempre estuvo ahí a mi lado, siempre caminó conmigo, a veces más, a veces menos, pero nunca la he abandonado por completo, digamos así. Pero siempre íbamos y veníamos en ese sentido. ¿Quieres traducir? ¿Cómo quieres hacer? Se me escapó el inglés, se perdí el inglés que tenía.
Está buenísimo. Se acabó el inglés, ya está ahora, ya se acabó. Está perfecto. So, Alejandro says that he's a communicator first and foremost in different mediums. He did TV, all that he said, but he has walked this path with magic always by his side, and magic has always been present. And those things that he did.
I was 13 years old when I passei em frente magic shop.
Oh yeah.
And, I fell in love with magic, and I decided that this is going to be very important to me and for my life. And then
where was that magic shop? ¿Dónde fue eso? ¿Dónde fue?
Here in Campinas, Brazil. So I'm from Uruguay, but I live in Brazil since 85. I don't know, more than 40 years. I'm here in Brazil. Yes.
Yes. So Alejandro does not speak English very well, but he speaks perfect Portuguese and perfect Spanish.
Yes, these are my languages. So I made a course, a magic course, with 13 years old, and then after the course, I come back to the magic shop every day, asking for a job. No, you don't have to pay me nothing. I just want to learn magic. So, and then the other day, and the other day, and the other day. So, the owner one day said, "Okay, I can't stand this anymore. Come here, let's start to work here." And I started to separate cards. He bought trash from cards company. Yes, printer cards company. So if they have a big, una hoja grande con todas las cartas. Si hay un defecto en una, tiran todo. Entonces eso que lo tiraban porque había una defectuosa, se lo ponen en una caja y te compraban esas cajas con un montón de basura de cartas. Entonces mi trabajo era estar en un cuartito de 1 metro por 1 metro con cajas hasta el techo separando cartas, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eso fue mi trabajo durante meses. Así empecé y trabajé durante 8 años en esa tienda de magia y fue ahí arranqué. A los 14 años hice mi primer show en una escuelita para niños, porque mi hermana hacía payaso, hacía algo así, y para conseguir vender shows, ella me regalaba las escuelas. Le regalaba al cliente, mira, tú me contratas las marionetas, el payaso, y te regalo un show de magia de mi hermano que tiene 13 años, 14 años. Entonces, ella también me pagaba un poquito, pero me pagaba. Así empecé.
Ah, qué bonito, qué bonito. So he said, we got the first part. He walked by a magic shop for a bunch of times. Then he got a job there. But his first job was actually to separate cards from the misprints, right? So everything that got misprinted on the card companies, magic shops were able to buy that in bulk, and he had to separate them to create, decks. So he was he started that way. Then he at 14 he started putting together a little magic show, and his older sister she was a clown at that time, and she was selling entertainment, and for her clients she had a special treat saying, hey, if you hire me, I will give you for free a magic show from my little brother who's 13, 14, and he's starting doing magic, right? And so she used Alejandro as a bargaining chip to get
that's the point. Yes, exactly.
That's pretty cool. And do you remember like one of those first performances, like you did a very good performance and you got a positive reaction? Do you remember that feeling, that when you do a great show and you have a great reaction?
Yes, I do remember. I was a teenager, and everything, that kind of show that everything goes well and everybody's happy, and you can surf the right wave in the, of course, absolutely unintentional. I never knew why that happened, but it happened, and it was a very good moment, and people no querían que me fuera de la fiesta, querían que me quedara ahí con ellos más tiempo, con los niños. Yo era un poquito mayor que los niños que cumplían años, cumplían 9, 10, yo tenía 14, pero me decían, tú tienes que ir a la televisión. Bueno, fue un día que salió todo bien, o sea, por esas circunstancias del destino, the things that you can't control, you don't know why, but things works well. And then I couldn't sleep that night. I was dreaming of my heart and then you realize man, this is living. You're alive. Things make sense. Of course, it wasn't in a wonderland from a child, yes, but it was very important to me and very strong. So I can remember till now the words, the laughs, and of course I didn't deserve it because the show was very bad, but don't worry. This is another thing. But it was a good thing.
Right.
And then this is very strong in my mind. So, but with the charlatans, this is my actual job in magic. What I'm doing now in magic, I remember in one performance, in a theater, a guy. Do you know Ascanio's Atisbo o Tamariz me la corto? De Ascanio de Tamariz, del Atisbo, cuando la persona antevé lo que va a pasar y su cabeza y la persona dice no. So when people are following you and then they realize what will happen and say
what's going to happen,
what's going to happen.
Magic is over when the audience already knows what's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And they're like, there's no way that's going to happen. Like that moment, that like no effing way.
Yes. Ascanios used to call it atisbo, and Tamariz has another term, is me la corto. I cut myself. I cut off. It's not exactly the same thing. There are different concepts, but they are very similar. Okay, very. So this guy he said, "Oh no!" And then when my partner makes the revelation, he literally jumped off the seat. Then no, starts to talking to people around him. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you know? Like then I for the first time, this is not. I felt what magic can do, the power, the real power of magic. So I understood what my director and that time, Ricardo Arada, the best magician from Brazil, one of the best of the world, he directed us, and then we are professionals. We work. We can deliver a very good show, very good entertainment, blah, blah. But all of us, we know that kind of power of the impossibility is hard to find. It's not everything we can. We really punch the guy. We can do very fantastic things, intriguing and marvels. Yes, and you have the power match, of course. But sometimes you can tell, and then this is so great because all of his beliefs in his mind, and I had to stop to look at him. I almost kissed him. Oh, thank you very much. But no, this is a good thing.
And what is the word that Tamariz uses to describe that?
It's
Me la corto.
Me la corto, right? It's not a word.
And what does that mean? What does that word mean in Spanish? Is it translatable?
¿Vas a explicarle? I cut myself. I cut myself off. I cut my instrument off. If this happens, I cut off.
So it's an angle of saying, I'll cut it off, right? If that happens, I'll cut it off, right?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
If you do that, I'll cut it off, It's
wow.
that high stakes, that if that happens, if that really happens, then I'll cut it off. Right? You know what I mean?
It's very, very, very interesting asuntos, temas to study.
A subject, yeah.
Subjects to study. It's very good to study. Well, everything from Ascanio, everything from Tamariz, it's absolutely necessary to study.
Oh, so it's so important. I'm just working my way through for the second time Magic Rainbow.
Yes, of course.
There's so much.
Yeah.
Every page is amazing. But I wanted to ask you one thing. When you were just doing little shows with your older sister, when she was the clown, can you remember the moment, or not the moment, but the experience of when you described yourself as somebody who does tricks? I do magic tricks. To the time when you said, I am a magician.
Well, I must be.
You know what I mean? Do you know?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I have to be extremely honest with all of you. I have so much respect from this art and from the great guys that I met, that I studied, great genius, men's and minds and women that it's hard to me even now to stand and say I am a magician. I don't know, man. Tamariz is a magician.
Yes.
I feel like I'm just trying. I'm just working. I'm just trying, but of course the charlatans is the biggest point in my career. That when I put with nature, this is important. I have a lot of life experiences and artistic experiences, and a lot of try and error, and a lot of I wish to talk about things and dreams and failures and fears and love, and I could put everything together in one act and work hard and fight for something. So this is the closest that I came to from be a magician. But I sincerely, I can't. If anyone, what you do? I don't know what I do. I just do things. I hate this word. In the hotels, I never know what I have to put there. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Because you know Tamariz, you know Fred Capps, you know Guy Vernon, you know Slidini. You know, how can we compare to them?
Yeah, I mean it's complicated because if you said I'm a magician and then these guys are magicians. Yes, of course, and a lot of contemporary guys too. But
you know, like in Zen Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, they always call themselves students.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You know, even a priest, first of all, considers themselves a student because there's always more.
Yes. And then, but I have no problem at all with it. I just have to be honest with you, and I have to be clear with. I have to know who I'm talking to. Yeah, of course. If I'm talking to a client, some that will pay. I have to say I'm a magician, and I have no problem with this. But in different environments and different needs, we can talk. Here, I can open my heart and say, well, really, I don't feel comfortable. And Rafael Tubino is a great magician from ZO2, or I think he's not performing right now, but I think he's a magician because you're hard. He's hard. Sorry, he's hard. No. I don't care if he's studying or performing. His heart is okay. So he used to say, it took me, I don't know, 20 years. So I can say I'm a magician. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how long it will took me to say I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Sí, mira, me ha costado 20 años para poder decir que soy un mago. Ahora no sé cuántos años más me va a costar decir que soy un artista. Me gusta esa.
That's what he just said. You know, it has taken me 20 years to say I'm a magician. And I don't know how long it will take me until I could say that I am an artist.
Uh-huh.
So it's, I don't know, where you really like you do, and this universe, you have to respect, and you don't feel comfortable. Yes, I do. I can. Come on. I'm trying. I'm just trying. I'm just working.
Yeah.
Sometimes algunas veces conseguimos, otras fallamos miserablemente, pero no importa.
Yeah, sometimes we do it great, sometimes we fail, but that's the road. But Alejandro, I wanted, because you've named Los Charlatanes, right?
Yeah.
That's your act, your duo act, which is amazing. I want you to bring us a little bit more into it. So, entonces que nos cuentes un poquito más de por qué los charlatanes, qué hacen los charlatanes, y no sé, algo de la experiencia de cómo fue ir a participar en FLASOMA, ganar un premio en FLASOMA y después ir a participar en FISM, que me parece como algo pues muy, muy interesante.
Okay. Yo siempre tuve un problema, una cuestión en mi vida, que me parecía que yo nunca me había dedicado lo suficiente a nada. Yo me había dedicado a algo y ya conseguía hacer algunas cosas, o las cosas se daban, algunas mejores, otras no. Pero yo sentía que yo nunca le había puesto de verdad trabajo, transpiración, sueño y dedicación extrema a algo.
Okay,
so want to translate at this point?
Yeah, that when he started working on his act that's called The Charlatans, right before it, he had a feeling that he had really in his life never really dedicated himself to something that was hard and that needed a lot of work, but that he was truly focused and determined to do something that was going to be hard and that needed a lot of work.
Yeah, I think you just put this end was a perfect thing. I was looking for something that was challenging and something that was difficult and something that almost nobody performed. This is something that I looking for. I don't like to be another one. I don't like to. So I always looking for different places and things, and so. And then I found this telepathy. Yes, telepathy, two-person telepathy act, or second sight act. So these are very difficult to perform. If you open any book, you can read about it. In the first or second paragraph, yes, you will read something like, please, this is very hard, very difficult. It will take a lot of years to master it, and probably you will give up. So if you really don't want, just don't try. Just give up right now. Don't read this. Because if you to Corinda, if you read Corinda, you will find something like this. And another book says they say, okay, this is very hard, and it's better if you can perform it with your wife, because parentheses, books were directed for men magicians. This is a shame, but okay. It's good if you can perform it with your wife, because you are going to spend a lot of time together to rehearsal, and you have to know each other. And if something went wrong, you won't give up so easily. And if you are single, well, puede valer la pena que te cases para hacer un buen acto de telepatía.
Yeah, so they say, if you're single, hey, you better get a wife in order to do
It's a good idea. Even if you don't love her too much, if you perform a very good act, telepathy act, you can. It's good. You pay the price. Yeah. So, and then I start to study this. As we know, we don't have a lot of material. Resources are very limited if you compare with a lot of different
whatever else.
ways of magic. And the most of this material are old one, so they are out of our times in various aspects. Yes.
Yeah.
And we are talking about, it's different when you learn a card trick, and you know it's out of context, a modern context, but you can. But the essence of the sense of the two-person telepathy is the relationship. It's the way you talk, and then when you get the classic method. So this is it's not just to translate. It's another kind of thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I start to think. I start to study, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. I want to do this. I want to do this because this is challenging. This is difficult. I mean, this is not a market. No es provisor marketeramente, no hay gente que lo hace, no hay plata, no hay nada, es difícil, por eso lo voy a hacer. O sea, no podría haber sido peor escenario.
Yeah, he's saying it was very hard because there's not many people that do it. It's not easy to market. There is no resources. It's hard to sell, and you have to be really committed to do it. So it couldn't have been like a harder scenario to try.
Can
say,
you?
yes, perfect. And then yes.
Can you describe one of the two-person telepathy routines that you do?
Yes. Can I just continue the story, and then after we arrive in
okay.
Charlotte. So I create an act with a friend, a magician, musician. He was not a magician, and he was in a very bad person in life. And then do you want to be a mentalist? What? Yeah, to read people's mind. Okay, so let's try. And and we perform something. We try hard, and things don't just don't happen. Things it didn't work, and then we stop, and then one night in a bar talking to Ricardo Arada, and a person that helped me in those times. 5 years later. That was a good idea. You had something different, potential and things like that. And then he put the damn little, this fly, this And then once again, I couldn't sleep, and then I start to looking for some crazy friend, and then I finally chegué, arrived in Juan Araujo. Yes, he lived 2,000 kilometers from home when we started. Can you imagine this? It's crazy. No, you can't do this. You are not man and wife. You live far away. How? Of course, we use the internet to rehearse, but you have to present. And then so everything was against. And then we start to study. I share my knowledge, my studies, and blah blah blah. We create a performance, a show. Not good. And then so if you want to know, the first time we performed, well, what object is this? Yes, what is this? And it was a medicine. Okay, the first time, the first object in the first day, 80 people. So someone raised a medicine, and then I asked, "What is this?" And a hat. Oof. We start like this. Oh, it was awful. And spend a lot of time. We do something, we perform something, but Juan Araujo always says something like replaceable. We were replaceable. And I think this is, I don't know if it's his term or he learned from somewhere. A magician, you cannot be replaceable. We don't want to be replaceable. So you can put this, take this and put another magician, is the same thing, the same show, is not good. So we were almost giving up, and in a crazy attitude, Juan's put our name in the list from FLASOMA. FLASOMA is the FISM, Latin American FISM competition. Just, when you have to have something to
push you,
yes, exactly. But we stay in la lista de espera estábamos.
They were in the waiting list.
Yeah, and then we're looking for a director to work together. And when we start to work with him, FLASOMA contact us and you have a vacation, a place if you want. And then we talked to our director, and he said it's absolutely impossible to create an act in 3 months. A minimal magic and artistic good act in 3 months. Okay, it won't happen. But if you want to pay me and you want to try to do something, okay, let's do it. And so we started.
Was this Ricardo again?
Ricardo Arada.
So he was still the one that knew you from before, knew you from very young ago. He said, no, there's no way, you're not supposed
No, it's impossible. You can't create anything decent in 3 months. Forget about it. Okay, 3 months, hard work. Of course, I already have spent 5 years studying techniques and concepts. Okay? And then we create our act. And Tom, our act, as the name say, that los charlatanes, it means the charlatans are 2 guys from another era. You don't know where they are from or when they are from. ¿Sí? Tú no sabes de dónde son ni de qué época son. Tú sabes, you just know they are not belong here and not belong this time or this place. But we can talk to you about anything. I mean, we are not time travelers. I can talk to you about your cell phone or anything, or your visa, credit card, no problem. We are atemporal. It was inspiring carnival in carnivals, yes, in side shows, and storytelling, fortune tellers, and we sell and medicine shows. The beginning. And so we sell. We have a wonderful machine that produces a specific thing, sustancia, líquido, sustancia, una cosa. Ay, me olvidé el nombre, no importa. When you get it, your brain and then you start to do something.
Magic potions. So
Yes,
that
magic potions.
create a little
No,
magic.
scientifically, there's no magic, no.
No magic. This
No,
is
it's science,
real medicine.
pure science, and then if you use it, and we sell this little liquid, so if you use it, you improve your intuition, you improve your decisions, you have a better life, and you are going to be like. So we do in the act we perform, we take some objects like the traditional one, yes, as we know, objects, different objects, and then you have characteristics from these objects, and then we go a little bit further. We take a picture from someone, choose a picture from his cell phone, and my partner can describe what is in this picture, person, how this person looks like, and the name, and the relationship that has, and we finish, and then we talk to people that we are selling this product. Until this moment, we don't say we are selling anything. In this moment, oh, the best news is now you can buy it and you can have, and then we finish with someone from the audience trying our product, and he makes a guess, and it works. The act is basically like this. And it's a little bit funny. You have humor, you have characters, you have social critics, you have
the windows, no? The
yes, our costumes. Our costumes were designed by Fabrini. He designed our costumes because we are we have a kind of steampunk fashion.
Yeah.
In our customs and in our machine, we have this because this is perfect, because it's una ficción científica retrofuturista.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a science fiction that's retrofuturistic.
Retrofuturistic.
Yes, exactly what we want. I mean, nothing. And then and this was a very te calienta el corazón, porque pudimos solucionar con eso todo lo que nosotros queríamos, dar voz a nuestros interiores, a nuestros personajes. So you can, if you are selling something, you have to talk, and if you are this kind of pitchman, yes, they say, pitchman, yes, you have the license to talk and to speak that way or not that way. It's a different.
Yeah.
Yes, and we propose. We always we never agree with the statement that says that the good thing on mentalism is it could be real. The audience can think this is real. We don't like it. We are against this statement. And but how you can offer a game to your audience, but not lose the magic power, the magic impact, So we don't want to be serious. We never wanted to be serious. We never wanted that anyone for any second, oh, this could be real. Oh, maybe this could. No. This is art. This is theater. This is a performance. We are artists, and let's play. But even you doing this, you must have the magical power, the magical impact. Okay, this is not true. So no, you don't have to lie to your audience to get good reaction. So this, our path, our way, this was a very, very happy yet for us, and it works for us.
That's a very difficult theatrical balance.
Yes.
That you're not supernatural. You don't have supernatural power.
Yes.
It's mainly entertaining, but it still has to. How did they do it?
Yeah.
We know it's not supernatural power,
Yeah.
but it sure looked like it.
Yeah. Yes. And then we went to FLASOMA, and we won. And it was
Uruguay, or that was
Argentina.
Argentina.
The one after the Uruguay. 2015 Uruguay, 2017 Argentina, and we were there. So, but before we went, when you do you remember Ricardo's? Oh, in 3 months you can't do anything good. So he asked us. He asked us, "What do you want? What you really want? What you really want?" This is a very difficult question. You face it with the truth of your heart. This is a very difficult question. So my answer was, I don't want to die. I'm looking for something that don't let me die. I'm feeling that I'm losing everything and I have no more. When you feel you gave all of you, you know, you put everything, you took everything you had, your everything, your energy, your body, your soul, your imagination, everything, you are dry from inside. I don't have anything more. I don't have where to. Yo no tengo de dónde más sacar nada. Y no quiero perderme. Me voy a perder. Entonces, so the director does his very good job. He find the director never brought. El director nunca te trae nada. El director te saca lo que tienes adentro.
Yeah, the director never brought him anything or put them anything. He brought out from them what they had to give. Yes, this is a very good director. So, and you have more. You just don't know. You have more things to discover from you.
Yeah.
And then we did it, and it was unbelievable. I think it was the very first time in my life that something that I dreamed, it came true. So it's very difficult, you know. You spend all your life with frustrations, with nothing, and then they're kidding me. This is not happening. This is not, and but it happened, and it was unbelievable. So till now, we know we have a lot of. Nosotros tenemos mucho que hacer todavía en la magia latinoamericana. La magia latinoamericana, infelizmente, está en un nivel por debajo de las otras partes del mundo, que por lo menos componen FISM, o por la mayoría, salvo algunas excepciones. Entonces, nosotros tenemos que dar la dimensión correcta de lo que es este premio. Es muy importante para nosotros, pero sabemos todo el trabajo que todavía hay que hacer por la magia latinoamericana. Yeah, he's saying that they already have a lot of work to do for Latin American magic. The level of Latin American magic is not at the same level as other regions in the world, with some few exceptions. But they have a lot of work to do to level up the level of magic here in Latin America. And that was unbelievable. It was a fantastic thing. It was a dream. Yeah. And then we had the possibility to go to FISM in Korea. And then, of course, we have no dollar to do this. So we designed, for the very first time in our country, a campaign. Una campaña. Movilizamos a la comunidad mágica, a amigos y familiares. Yeah, they moved the magical community, friends and family, to raise money to go. Yeah, we sell T-shirts, we sell paintings, rifas. ¿Cómo se dice rifas? Sorteos. Raffles. They did. Yeah, we made shows. We got donations. Magicians gave us props to sell. A lot of different things that we could imagine. We put in. So we. Usually the competition is a personal project, an individual project, you know, and we broke this rule in Brazil, said, no, this is our project. Man, come on, let's do it together. We need you. And it's not just Brazil, it's Latin America, and other magicians from Latin America help us go there. And we dreamed that this could be, que esto se pudiera tornar realidad para siempre. Yeah, so they wanted that this was something that started there, but could be true forever. And dream together, and work together for one purpose. And then nosotros juntamos absolutamente todo lo que necesitábamos. No precisamos poner todo, los pasajes, la comida, los traslados, el director que nos preparó para el FISM, todo. pudimos pagar todo. Fue impresionante.
That campaign was so cool that they actually rose everything that they needed. So accommodation, food, staying, the director, everything was they raised everything that they needed, and that was very cool because they were able to, I think that gave you the freedom to work on it, right? So como que les dio la libertad de trabajar en eso porque ya tenían todo solucionado.
Sí. And we went to FISM, and it wasn't a good day. In FLASOMA, it was a good day. Everything works fine, and it doesn't work. 2 or 3 different points. We had bad luck. We had I made a failure. Yes, and made a mistake during the performance. And this is, you work so hard, and when you have a mistake, just in a soccer penalty, or now in the Olympics, they train, and then in the moment you fail, it's awful. And bad luck or fail, and some misunderstanding with the judges. I don't know. But we got the 5th in the mentalism area. We were the 5th, and but we won more, and it was I don't know. It happens. We were not happy with it, but okay. Let's vamos enfrente, vamos enfrente, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Pasó, las cosas no salieron como queríamos, fue una pena, quedamos en quinto, podíamos haber sacado más, y the big lesson that I took from this episode is it was so stressful, a lot of stress, and then I lost joy. And if you are not enjoying, if you are not happy in be on stage performing, if you don't take it with light, in a light way, if you are not having a good time, people feel it. And I was so pressure and just your time. Don't forget about your time. I couldn't sleep the night before. It was I lost the pleasure from performance. And then I think this was the worst part. But it happened, and that's okay. And then life
goes on. Life goes on.
Yeah.
But it's a wonderful story because I think that not a lot of people are willing to put in the work that it's needed to be at that level, to say, hey, we're going to win a FLASOMA, we're going to go and compete in FISM. I think what you said in the beginning, Alejandro, it's so hard that very few people put the work in to get at that level. And I think that's something that we need to recognize, that, hey, doing that is flipping hard, and you committed, you did it, and the journey is, part of what you should enjoy, right? It's not only the end result, it's just the journey. And I don't know, for people like me in South America to see that happening, and that great act, of everything that composed the act, right? Not just the magical power in itself, which is flipping amazing, but the whole, the look, the feel, the everything. I think it's just fucking amazing. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
And I think I connect with you when you say that that when you're not having fun, right? When the fun stops and you feel some other pressures, it comes through in the performance, and it comes through in your life. People around you start noticing it, and I can connect to that. I think that happens. That happened to me as well, and you feel it, and it's tough. It's tough to navigate it. But as you said, life goes on, and you get to go to other avenues.
And one guy that was there, Luis Boyano from Spain, saw our performance, and he likes, and he invited us to go to Spain to work in his festival, but he can't afford a good cachet, so he arranged us a lot of lectures in Spain. So we made a tour. Me la sé. en la sociedad española de ilusionismo. I was there with the place with Ascanio. Where with oh my God, I was so nervous that Rafael Benatar was said in front of me. Rafael Benatar, Ramón Chobola, Rafael Benatar, and
Entonces estás hablando de a ellos y algo tuyo, pues.
Camilo Vázquez.
Wow.
And I will offer pick a card, any card, and that was face up. And I didn't realize it. I made all the presentation, and then they left, and they enjoy our job.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
And we presenting in Cafetín Crochet, a fantastic place in El Escorial, where Tamaris started a lot. I don't know, 40 years. Every Friday they make shows, magic shows in a very small place, and we could perform there, and people applauding. So then we come back in a festival from Juan Mayoral. So Luis de Matos want to take us. So people are hearing about us, and they, anyway.
Things are happening.
That may have been better than coming in first at FISM.
I don't know, but it's better. It's very hard to say, but I mean, we met the champion. We met Javier Botilla from Spain, and we talk a lot in Argentina after, and we talk a lot, and we change experience. And he said to us, I don't know if it's true or not, but he said he has he had a team to study each competitor, and he studied once. He studied and the ones that I was afraid was you. You had in his opinion, the act that could beat him was our act. If we could connect with people and if we can perform in a high level, we could beat it. But okay, just funny thing.
Yeah,
that's so nice. I mean, Alejandro, that's so nice, and you know, it's the journey. Yeah, it's the journey.
Yeah, yes, it's always.
Yes. So
when you said to the director, he said, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
And you said, "I don't want to die."
Yeah.
You know, in a sense, you know, comedians, they say that if they really do well, they say, I really killed them. I really killed the audience.
Yeah.
If they do badly, they say, I died out there tonight. And I think when you put everything on the line and you work so hard for those 3 months, every day working and thinking about nothing, that it feels like you're going to die if it doesn't. You've put everything out there. You know, you said there was nothing left inside. You know,
and this is scary. This is very scary. It's a scary thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and that you did that, but even more so, the way you funded it by creating this community of people in Latin America who supported you to go there. That was a great magic act in itself.
Yes, yes. You know, these people never had the opportunity to be good, to help. Nobody never gave them the opportunity to help.
Yeah.
This is very funny, very crazy to think about it. But we know that the match community it's an individual project. Yeah? Your competition is an individual project. Some of us, they have the competition is a way of life. It's not a good thing. You have to separate things. Art, living, this is one thing, and competitions, in some cases, it's another thing.
It's and or. I mean, it's you can do half both, or just have one, or sometimes have one and the other. And I think it's so cool that you that brought the magic community together.
Yeah.
And I want to try and transition from that experience, you know, that was so huge part of your life, right? And so meaningful, right? Que significó tanto para ti, right? How then Magicians Without Borders comes into the picture. Entonces, ¿cómo después de esa experiencia tan grande, tan gigante que tienes, cómo eso te va llevando hasta que nos conocemos, que conoces Magos Sin Fronteras y quieres hacer parte de esto? ¿O algo que quieres compartir antes de?
No, a lousa. Você tinha perguntado a lousa, né? I had a trick that because I know you want to know, but it was do you know the Platón, la teoría de la creatividad de Platón, ¿sí?
Sí, sí.
Tienes dos puntos, tienes tu mundo interior, vas alimentando tu mundo interior, de repente los puntos se conectan y ahí surge una idea, ¿sí? Esa teoría, bueno, fue eso. Y el motivo no fue el más noble. El motivo es que habíamos acabado de ganar el FLASOMA y empiezan a invitarnos a algunos congresos en Latinoamérica. Y no te pueden pagar, nunca te pueden pagar. Cuando mucho te pagan el pasaje. Entonces, mira, la única manera de que quieres ganar algún dinero es haciendo una conferencia, dando una charla y vendiendo un producto. Pues hay que inventarse un producto. Entonces, pero tenía esas cosas ya dentro de mí. De repente, conversando con Juan, bueno, hay que inventar, bueno, me voy a casa. Y en el camino a casa en el auto dije, ya sé lo que voy a hacer. Y pumba. Y pronto, lo creé así. Fue. Pero es que hay cosas que las cosas están ahí adentro y se conectan. ¿Sí? Hay que alimentar ese mundo para que eso surja. Y el motivo no es noble, pero bueno.
No, pero está buenísimo. So, what Alejandro is sharing is something that I wanted to ask him because he has a great mentalism product. It's called Alosa. Well, let me just put it here so you, Tom, can see it because I think it's flipping amazing. So here we go. Let's just look at the promo.
Oh, what's up?
These guys are amazing. I look so important, so good, so man, macho alpha. Come on.
It's a great promo. It's a great promo video, but the gimmick itself, I think it's brilliant, right? And he was just sharing because I wanted to ask him a little bit more about this. Like, how did that come about? And he said that right after they won FLASOMA, they were invited to a lot of countries to do conferences. And as you know, most conferences, they don't pay you for your time. They just get you there. And in order for you to make some money, you have to sell, something in your lecture. So with Juan, they said, oh, we have to invent something. And then, of course, he had a lot of ideas in his head, right? And then dots were connecting in his head. And he came up with this wonderful idea, which is beautiful. Like when you get the chance to see it, Tom, and see how it works, how easy it is, and how clever it is. It's a great take on a classic, right? So it's a great way to
You're so kind. You're so kind.
No, it's great because I've seen it performed here by people who are great performers and by people who are just getting started and by people who are terrible performers but know a lot of tricks, right? And every time they do this, it's like a high point, right? It's like, fuck, how did they do it, right? It's that moment of strong magic reaction, like, fuck, how did they do it, And everyone has that same reaction, right? Not just you as a magician saying, because it's so clever that you're like, you know how magicians are, right? I can't figure it out, or you want to figure it out, right? When you're trying to play that role of, hey, I want to figure it out, and you're like, fucking, I have no clue, right? There's no clue, and that's very good. But also when you see the audience, in a show, like lay people, laymen just going like, how in the hell, like they get that reaction, even if the performer is not a top performer. You know what I mean? So I think that speaks a lot about
It was
the
a good move. It was a lucky move. A lucky move.
yeah.
And then I went to Argentina and performed there, and I sold out in seconds. And then Bazar de Magia heard about it and talked to me, and they bought the rights to it.
Correct.
Now it's their product. It's not mine anymore. But okay, it's just, and then he asked me, "Oh, don't you have another idea?" No, man, I'm not Gaiden Bloom. I'm not this kind of guy. I'm not Gary James. It was just once in a lifetime. I never will have another idea like this. It was lucky, and that's okay. So let's talk about Magicians Without Borders.
But I think it's pretty cool anyway. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So if you guys wanna, we're gonna leave the link from Bazar de Magia and from other retailers on the show notes, so you can go and check it out. It's flipping amazing. It's very, very good. And so that idea happened after FISM, after FLASOMA. You went to FISM, this big thing that was meant a lot to you, and then we connected, and I think we connected right after or right before you went to FLASOMA, if I am not mistaken. I think the first time we talked, Alejandro, it was before before FISM.
Before FISM, yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked before FISM because
and then I told you, I think this is a very interesting thing. You connect me to help Caio or the other guy from you were looking for a magician in a specific part of Brazil. Brazil is too big. Yeah. So we helped you with this, and then this is a good idea. Well, do you want to talk about more? And I remember I told you, yes, I do, but now we have to concentrate on FISM, and then after we can talk about. Okay. So we reconnected after a while. After FISM, we reconnected. And how can I say? There are things. There was que siempre estuvieron ahí.
But there are things that are always there. Yeah.
So the things that moved me to this direction always been there. I just didn't recognize it, or it was a different time in my life, different moment, and sometimes you don't see what is in front of you all the time. It was that was me. That always was. Eso siempre fui yo. Siempre estuve en mí, pero nunca le había reconocido.
Okay, so he's saying that this what drove him to Magicians Without Borders and the cause has always been in him, and he's always been that way, but he maybe never paid a lot of attention to it. But he recognized it as something that has always been there.
Yeah. And we back to Brazil and start to live again, start to take our lives, and with this ghost in my shoulders, the failure on FISM competition, blah blah blah, and a lot of changes in my life. I used to work in a place, and then things changed there, and personal problems, personal questions, issues that you said. I don't know, in my private life, and what the perfect storm is, and it was more or less like this. And once again, I had something to I don't want to die. So Magicians Without Borders was in front of me, and I said, "That's it. That's the time. That's my time to try, just this." And then that's it. I don't know how to say better than this. It was sometimes you want to give up, of course. Sometimes you want to just sit down and cry. Sometimes you want to fight like a wild lion and kill a lot of businessmen, and sometimes you want to take kids in your arms and do something, and that's it. And sometimes I think I just was born to do this, and sometimes I think what I'm doing here, I don't know nothing, and then I don't know. I don't have answers. I just have feelings, and I have a lot of wishes and dreams and challenges. And lo que me mueve es inconformidad. Yo soy inconformado con las cosas. Si yo estuviera conformado, nada de eso saldría. Entonces esa inconformidumbre, no sé cómo se dice ni en español, es lo que me mueve por un lado, me mueve para el otro. Entonces para mí es un privilegio, una suerte tremenda, y nuevamente es algo en el que me agarro para no morir y para seguir adelante. Y esto puede parecer muy fuerte, esa frase, ¿no? Pero tú me conoces un poquito, me has visto. Quiero aquí ser honesto, ser muy sincero y transparente. Obviamente que no necesariamente tenemos que ser literales todo el tiempo, pero que la gente, no sé, vea un lado mío humano, que es así, lleno de dudas, lleno de deseos, en fin, yo no estoy muy seguro nunca de nada, y cuanto más voy amadureciendo en la vida, más me enorgullezco de eso. Es un motivo de orgullo para mí. No tengo más que estar seguro de las cosas. No sé. Quiero, siento, voy, persigo y voy viviendo. Y entonces fue la suerte esa, recomponer mi vida, rearmar mi vida, teniendo a Magicians Without Borders como uno de los pilares.
Es muy bonito, Alejandro, y yo creo que comparto mucho eso porque también hemos tenido conversaciones en donde creo que conectamos en ese nivel, ¿no? So what Alejandro is saying is that he's always been dissatisfied, He's always, been or felt that there's a lot of things that you don't need to be satisfied about in this life, in this world. And he always wanted to do something about it, right? And that's when he was putting together his life again, right? And Magicians Without Borders was there, right? And he started building his life with something that could give him a hope. Si yo digo que algo que Magos Sin Fronteras es algo que te daba esperanza, ¿estaría no cierto o no?
Que me da esperanza.
Sí, de que el futuro sea diferente porque tú estás haciendo parte de Magos Sin Fronteras.
Sí, pero evidente que la gana de hacer es que nuestro trabajo sea consecuente, ¿no? Que tenga consecuencias, eso sí. Pero te digo, quiero poner las cosas bien, porque esto puede ayudar a otras personas a que se enganchen también, ¿sabes? Hay una cuestión personal, primero, que no te la voy a negar. A mí no me gusta cómo las cosas están, soy inconformado, entonces lo hago para que el mundo sea mejor, pero lo hago porque no podría no hacerlo. ¿Me explico? Que primero está eso, porque ese discurso de que, sí, me parece que te pones en una situación como de santo, como que eres el único que te preocupa con el mundo, como que te da un privilegio de una buena intención, y sabemos que el infierno está lleno de buenas intenciones también. O sea, es algo como es darle sentido a las cosas. Para mí, for me, Magicians Without Borders brought me a new sense from...
New purpose.
Purpose. For living. And this is a very egoistic feeling, but okay, because I selfish, yes, but I can transform this in something good for other people. But for me, first of all, I need to find myself, and I have to, and I'm very happy that could be my way.
Yeah. I'm thinking of a lot of things, like what's going on right now in...
I talk too much.
No. I love listening to you. But what's going on in Tokyo right now, and professional tennis. There's just so much conversation now about the pressure and tension and anxiety of that level of competition, which is like FISM in some ways. And they call it playing tennis or, playing, but at that level, it's no longer playing. It's, there's so much anxiety and so much pressure and so much tension that in some ways coming back from that, like Magicians Without Borders in some way might be the opposite of that, or it might be it is selfish in the sense that it gives, as Carlos and I have said so many times, we get more than we give, it seems.
Yeah.
And yet it's a different kind of selfishness. It's
Yes.
when you were saying finding yourself, it's that kind of selfishness.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It couldn't be in another way.
I think there is a place for competition and the way it can help us develop a kind of excellence and mastery of our art. But too much of that can be too much.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. And I think that, Alejandro has done a great job trying to get this out and running since, 2019, when we started talking right after FISM, after FLASOMA, like after FISM, you got back, we started talking, and in 2019, you started doing this, creating partnerships, creating, a community around it. And I think that is so important. That is something that Tom and I are so grateful for, because even though you were just out of doing FISM, you started connecting people, you started doing things. This was in 2019, where you got together with a group of kids in near Campinas, and you with Maria Rosa, a local NGO over there, and we got some great stories around it. And now, of course, then the pandemic hit and this whole disaster started, and right now you started doing virtual shows for nonprofits in Brazil. So I wanted to ask you how that's been going, and getting the community, the magical community around this new venture, the Magicians Without Borders, which I've been, you've been very inviting and I've been, a witness of that community coming together for this new purpose. So I wanted to ask you how that's been going, and for you to tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
Bueno, resolvimos, pues imagínate que en el medio de la pandemia entonces fue como que, ¿tú te acuerdas, no? Hubo una época en la pandemia que en la pandemia, adentro de casa, con 2 hijos, y yo y mi señora sin trabajo.
Sí. So it was very hard during the pandemic, he was alone at home, 2 kids, no jobs. It's super, super stressful.
Yeah. And then we spent like an year doing nothing. And then once again, I said, a musician compose. Yeah, it's compose. He composed. Is the verb compose? So I use this word, recompose. I'm always recomposing me. This is when you, it's the same word. Recomponiendo, se dice en español. Aquí. Sí. Recomponiendo es lo mismo que recomponerse, de ponerse de pie de nuevo, como componer nuevamente. En portugués es la misma palabra. Bueno, no pasa nada. Don't wait this pandemic go away and start to work right now and doing what we could do the way we could do and be useful the way we could be. And then I start to talk to people around me and put strength together, juntar fuerzas, y empezamos a hablar con personas y non-profit organizations to how can we useful to you, what we can do that it will be good for you, your patients or the people that work with for you. Everybody's stressed, everybody's sick, everybody's tired, so we need to do something. Então, so we start to make this shows, virtual shows for them, and then we do virtual magic class, workshops, talleres de magia, magic workshops for the people that works with young and with people. Para personas que trabajan para las personas necesitadas, eso.
Mm-hmm. So the caretakers, the people that are working this nonprofits.
Yeah. So were some of your young magicians also doing the shows?
No. I had just 4 classes.
Oh, okay.
We had 4 classes, and then the pandemic, and then that this no existe más. This is not exist anymore.
Right.
Just 4 classes. They just have learned 1, 2 tricks properly, and we unfortunately it's just us for a while for now. Just us.
Hey.
And we also performed from selling tickets, and the nonprofit will keep the money for them. Sí, hicimos un show que vendieron las entradas.
Part of fundraising, so they sold the show, and the proceedings went.
Entonces, hacemos shows para los atendidos por las entidades, hacemos shows para quienes trabajan para las entidades, hacemos shows para que las entidades consigan dinero. Eso es de hacer shows. ¿Quieres decir?
So the shows, there are 2 types of shows. They do shows for the people that the nonprofit attends, so the beneficiaries. That's one type of show. Second show is shows and workshops for people that work for those nonprofits, right? So that they can be less stressed and add different abilities in the workshops, and shows to fundraise for those NGOs. So those are the 2 types of shows that, and all these have been virtual shows.
Yes. Clases de magia para las personas que trabajan, para que puedan ser mejores cuidadores, para que puedan tener eso como herramienta de aproximación a la gente. Y también empezamos con la clase de magia, de lo que es la magia inclusiva. Clase de magia para personas con deficiencia. Ese es el término que se usa en portugués, la persona con deficiencia. Entonces di clases para una chica con deficiencia intelectual. Tengo más 2 armados ahora con síndrome de Down y parálisis cerebral. Y empecé también un proyecto de enseñar magia para ciegos.
So, and this is, I think, from our conversations, I think this is the part that excites me the most, and is this new part of workshops, of classes, right? Online classes as of now, that are, first, as we talked about, for the caretakers, and so that they can have a different approach when they're, taking care of people in their work. But there's what we're calling inclusive magic classes, right? Which are for people who have some kind of disability, right? So the first pilot of this, he has been teaching classes with some cognitive disability students. So he has 1 student with that condition, and then another ones that he's doing with I think in English it's called cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
So he has students like that, and one that I'm maybe more excited about is he's starting to teach classes, magic classes, to blind people.
Wow.
And that's going to be something that's going to be very, very interesting, because how we've seen wonderful magicians do wonderful work. I think the one that for me is one of the best is Varela's work, the Chilean magician. That he does a show for blind people that you, as someone that's not blind, can partake in, and it's brilliant. But now trying to teach so that the blind person will be the magician, I think it was so simple, wasn't Carlos? Because if the blind people can watch this show, they can perform this magic. I thought, why not? It's the same thing. He can do this. It seems easy to think about, but I think it's a whole step, and I think that's very interesting, right? Yeah, they can enjoy magic, right? Now they can perform the magic
the same way. And then so let's work. What can I do? Let's talk with an organization in my city that works with blind people, workers, blind people. So they prepare blind people to the market. And then I went to talk to someone about what? About magic classes for blind people. What? Yeah, magic lessons. Okay, just a moment, please. And so, look, this is Tiago. I will send you your. I will send him your number, and he's getting vacation. Today from now, he's getting vacation. But maybe he will talk to you. Okay, I'm waiting. And then I receive a message. And then I talk to the guy, I explain the things, and then we schedule a meeting, a virtual meeting, because he's a teacher in this institution. He's very independent. He teaches technology for blind people. He's blind, and he made a lot of courses, different courses from arts to logic. He's a very intelligent man, of course. So, and then I explained the idea, and then let me show. I have a magic trick too, and then we do, and then he and then I teach him, and then I can do this. I can do this. Yes, of course. I'm telling you, you can do this because I got it. I can do this. And then okay, this conversation was good, but and then 1 or 2 weeks later, we talk again, and he I have to tell you, I was other day, I was remembering our first meeting, and then my wife turns to me and say, "What happened?" And why? What? Yeah, you are mine.
No.
I was remembering that I can perform magic. So an independent man, very intelligent man. I mean, it's not. He's used to. Está acostumbrado a realizar cosas, ¿sí? No. Pero es que
being blind and doing things without sight. Yeah.
But and then he told me when people talk to me that a crazy man wants to talk about magic for blind people, I just call you because okay, I want to see how far he's crazy. Él solo habló conmigo para ver el tamaño de la estupidez para cortarme.
Yeah, so he's saying that he just took his call to see how stupid the proposition was going to be.
To cut off. No, this is not impossible because it's impossible. Blind people and magic is not never. And then I changed his mind, and then now he's helping us, and we are starting soon, and we are doing a lot of this because this is a very powerful and very people. Let's put it. This is ¿cómo lo podemos poner esto bueno, Carlos, para que entiendan bien? Que la gente, claro, cuando haces un trabajo para ayudar a personas, presentas magia para niños, es más o menos lo que todo el mundo se imagina que vas a hacer cuando quieres hacer magia para ayudar al mundo, presentar magia para niños, o ayudar a instituciones. Eso se entiende y estamos ahí, somos uno más, ¿no? Que obviamente que tiene su importancia, pero es uno más. Pero cuando tienes una idea de esas, que a la gente le causa eso nos permite presentarnos de una forma, ¿sabes? Llegar a la sociedad, llegar a que el nombre Magicians Without Borders entre por otro lado y la gente diga, wow, ¿me entiende? ¿Me explico? Entonces, ese es el poder que tiene un proyecto como este. Para mí, lo mejor que puede tener es eso, de aproximar a la gente y demostrar que la magia, y eso abre las puertas para las otras cosas.
Yeah, he's saying that what he loves about this is that it gives Magicians Without Borders another angle that people can look at it. Because when you say, hey, we're going to do magic for kids and we're going to train at-risk youth so that they can perform for magic for kids, it makes sense. It's expected. But when you say something like this, like, hey, we're doing classes for blind people so that they can perform magic, it's like a short circuit, right? You're like, what do you mean? It's like, that doesn't make sense, but you're making it possible, you're doing it, and that, will open the doors for something else. And I think that's just, I am very eager to see where this takes us, because I am, as you can see, Alejandro is very, very well read about magic. He's very literate in the magic world, but also he's very recursive. He can do things with what he knows, with what he already has in his mind. But his heart is also in the right place for us.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the connection that I feel with him, and I think that the purpose that Magicians Without Borders is kindling in his life is very akin to what I felt when I first started doing social magic. So that fills me with joy and hope that the future of Magicians Without Borders will have a breath of fresh air because Alejandro is with us. So that's something that I'm very, very eager to discover and to travel this road with you, Alejandro.
Yeah,
It's my pleasure, my honor.
that's great.
That's so. We want to start wrapping this up and vamos a terminar esta intervención. Tom, any last words for Alejandro? Any last questions for him?
Well, I just wonder what you did with director of that institution for blind people that changed his mind. What did you do with him?
The 3 magic tricks from now one from here, another from
Martin Gardner.
yeah,
Magic, nice.
maybe Tamariz, Verbi Magia.
Yeah.
So the math magic.
Yeah.
Math magic, the 1089.
Yeah.
This trick I performed.
And was he able to do that in his head, or did he use calculator? Or
He used the calculator.
Okay.
Okay. And I performed the 3 objects, and you turn your back, and people. I'm gonna change the number 1 for the number 2, number 2 for number 3, and then they choose one in their minds,
yeah.
and don't tell anything, and and magicians put hands in the object to feel it and can guess what the object that people choose. You have another from Cara Cruz de las Monedas.
Yeah, like
Head or tail.
Yeah.
You have in the table, people change, and the magician can guess what the coin you are covering, and another with a deck of cards too. So I don't remember all the trick with cards that I performed. Oh yes, a force, an equivoque to force a card.
Are they cards? Are they cards for blind people? Do they have braille on them?
I for this trick, it was just a force. We use an imaginary deck.
Oh, imaginary deck.
An imaginary deck because we play with it. This is an imaginary deck, so it's an invisible deck. For me, it's a common thing. For you, we will have a different a new approach for you, a new approach for you, because they can perform for people that see, of course. But no, I just make an equivoque. Yes, I forced a card with black or red. Okay, red. So let's use red, and then card, and you force a card, and I already send a message. So tricks like this, and there are much more to do this. It's a new word, of course. But we have here, yes, the Braille.
Yeah.
Deck of cards with
Braille.
With Braille. In English, we say Braille.
Yes. Here's Braille. Okay, the same thing. Yes, we have here a company, a national company that produced this kind of deck of cards, and this will be my second step. Because with that damn deck of cards in their hands, they will make miserable things. It will be fantastic. So, but we have to work with them in person, because deck of cards is not part of their work too.
Yeah.
Most of them here in Brazil, 60% don't read Braille.
Yeah.
They don't know Braille, and 70% don't know deck of cards. They never play.
Wow.
So you have to bring this object near to them, and they make them understand what we're talking about. Then we can just start to perform it. But before this, you have a lot of that kind of And I know you can imagine what. Can you imagine a 11 years old boy, blind boy, talking with the girls or another guys? So they are playing soccer and thing, and then come on here, you, and perform magic tricks for their self esteem. Yes, it's very powerful, very powerful,
Fantastic. That would be amazing. Yeah.
very powerful thing.
I think there's great future, you know, there's great.
And there are a lot of more. We have a lot of more ideas we are doing. Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Alejandro, thank you so much for
Thank
giving
you.
us and Brazil a breath of fresh air for the Magicians Without Borders chapters there. It's been wonderful having you. As I often say to people when they tell me who we're working with, I say we are very honored to have you on our team, because it's unbelievable that someone like you, Alejandro, is with us. We're very grateful, very eager to continue this. And, it's been a wonderful, wonderful episode. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And, well, we'll see you all next week on another episode of Magicians Without Borders Conversations. Bye-bye, Tom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you.